Hey y'all, thanks for watching my channel. So today I'm going to be talking about relationships and ADHD, and mainly focusing on romantic relationships or partnerships where one partner has ADHD and the other one doesn't, and kind of some things that I've noticed that I do in my relationship, and give you some advice on how to kind of remedy and combat that when it happens. So one of the main things about people with ADHD or ADD is they get bored very, very, very easy. And oftentimes they end up cheating. Now, I do not cheat. I'm not a cheater. I love my boyfriend with my heart and soul. He is like my everything. But what I do is I pick fights. And they will be over the dumbest thing in the world just because I'm bored and I want some excitement. And I won't just let the fight, it'll be a minor thing, but I will escalate it so drastically and dramatically that you're just like, what is wrong with you? And the best way to kind of remedy that, don't walk away from this, that just makes us more mad. Kind of say, hey, okay, I know that you're upset because I didn't take the trash out, but I promise you that I will do it right now. And, try to distract us with something else, like, hey, let's go grab some ice cream or something. And then we'll just forget about it. And, that's like the main thing is the boredom. And actually people that have a spouse that has ADHD or ADD and one spouse doesn't, they have a 40% higher divorce rate than couples who don't. So that's just... it's the boredom factor. It's the other partner not understanding that we fly off the handle for no damn reason, mainly because they're bored, or, you might get mad at us because we forget to pay a bill, or we're constantly losing our keys or our phone, or, and ways to help us remember where we put things. Basically, maybe like hang a key rack by the door and be like, honey, put your keys on these when you come in, so that way you know where they're at and you're not searching for them. Because I am not kidding, I've literally had my phone in my hand and I've been looking for my phone, or it will be sitting like a couple feet from me and I'll be like freaking out because I can't find my phone. And I'm so impatient and I'm like tearing the house apart, and I'm like, Mason, call my phone, and I'll call it and it will just be like right beside me. And one thing that he does that kind of upsets me is he's like, how do you keep losing these? It makes no sense. Like, you just had it. But he doesn't understand that my mind has so much going on sometimes that I forget where I put things, And another thing is, we may like take our clothes off, to take a bath and just leave them in the floor. We can be very messy people, and if you are with a neat freak, that can be like the ultimate, like, just pet peeve of theirs if you leave your stuff lying around. So maybe like put a hamper where you notice they drop their clothes the most, and be like, honey, I put this here for you. Maybe it'll help you to put your clothes in the hamper, since you always seem to leave them in this one spot. And, do it nicely. Don't ever approach anybody with ADHD in a condescending way. The one thing you want to avoid is having a parent-child relationship with your significant other. That is the worst. Don't mother or father them. They grew up with a mother and father, if they're lucky. So they really don't need you to sit there and give them lectures about, things that they're doing, or, like, I don't understand why you can't keep the house clean, or why you start in this room and then go to this next room. What helps me is making lists. Like when I'm cleaning, if I start in the kitchen, I will make a list, like wipe the counters, do the dishes, etc. And then I'll make a list for the next room. That helps me, and maybe like suggesting to them, maybe making a list will help. Also, maybe like making kind of like a chore chart, and getting your kids involved too if they're of age will definitely help lessen the stress on the person with ADHD, because a lot of times we have OCD like nobody's business. But it's funny because it's like OCD about things that other people do. So like maybe my boyfriend puts his shoes like a certain way, and I'm like, no, they need to be like ankled. Like I will ankle everything. It's so weird. I don't get it. But I throw my clothes on the floor sometimes, that if he does it, I'm like, why do you do this? Like I don't know why I do that, but I wish I could stop, but that's just the thing that we do. Another thing that we do when you can tell that we're kind of having like an emotional day, or we're having like a difficult time concentrating, like we're having a conversation in the car, and we might interrupt you. It's probably because our short-term memory sucks so bad that we feel like if we don't get it out there, we're going to forget it. So if we apologize for that, accept our apology. That's one of the main things. It takes a lot for a person with ADD or ADHD to, kind of like humble themselves and be like, okay, what I did was wrong. We don't remember it, and we don't realize it until after the fact. And it takes up a lot of courage, and because we're anxious a lot, it takes up a lot of courage to build up, to be able to say, hey, I'm really sorry that I snapped at you, or I'm sorry that I interrupted you. I can help it, and generally, like if we're genuine about it, please accept our apology. We are major grudge holders, so a lot of times when we're fighting, or like I said, when we're just bored, we'll bring up things from the past. Try not to do this with us too, because I know it's hard to say, we're going to bring up the past, but you don't do that, or don't, that'll just make us kind of like think of more things instead of just distract us from it. Like, what, that happened, 5 months ago, and I'm really sorry. I didn't know it would make you feel that way. I'm sorry, and we'll probably be like, okay, you know what? I feel like an asshole now. Let me apologize to him, but let me think about what I'm going to say. And like with our anger, that just is so hard. I have the worst anxiety, and like I think I touched on this in a previous video, where I will just get so anxious in public, and if somebody bumps into me, I'll be like, what the fuck? Like, I just don't think about, oh my gosh, like people are crazy these days, but luckily, like, that's what guns are for. Like, that other person might have a gun too, but if they come at you crazy, then you can kind of defend yourself. But I don't really think that anybody with ADHD has a higher murder rate or domestic violence rate. I don't think that at all, because that's something that we think about long-term stuff, but short-term stuff we don't think about. Like, we could probably tell you like dates of like, when Kennedy was in office, and like all these, like when the Watergate scandal happened, but I can't tell you where I put my keys or my phone or what I had for lunch. That sucks. Really bad. I wish it wasn't like that, but it is. And it's a lot of times with my boyfriend, I will sit up there and I will remind him the same thing over and over and over and over again. I'm like, don't forget to do this, don't forget to do this, don't forget to do this. Like, don't forget to bring the dog in, don't forget to lock the crate. And I'll tell him that maybe like 4 or 5 times, and because I don't realize that his brain is not like mine, and that he can actually remember it, whereas I can't. So a lot of times I will remind him of things over and over and over again, because my mind literally cannot remember it. So I can't comprehend how a normal mind functions, so therefore I kind of hurt his feelings, like make him feel like he's not capable of remembering something when he is. So, those are just a few things that I've noticed in my relationship that happen, and luckily my boyfriend's really great about it. And sometimes he still hurts my feelings just as I hurt his, because I'll interrupt him a lot, or I will remind him of the most tedious, mundane task that he knows how to do. But in my mind, I would not remember it myself, so I just want to make sure that everything's perfect and like this, but then yet I don't follow my same set of rules. So I'm working on that, and that's something that you can bring up to your partner, like, but in a good, polite manner. Don't like I said, don't parent them. Maybe be like, hey, I know that you want me to put my clothes in the hamper, but can you please do the same thing? And what can I do to help you? That's like we love hearing that. What can I do to help you? Remember to put your clothes in the hamper because you want me to put my clothes in the hamper. It's not like we're disrespecting you on purpose. We just literally forget. Like, that sounds so stupid. I know it does. Like, when I say it, it just sounds like that sounds really stupid. But, it's true. We have like major OCD with other people, but with ourselves, not so much, because our brains are just thinking about so many different other things that it's just, But anyways, don't forget to like and subscribe. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you have any questions or any other future topics that you would like me to tackle, please type that below. I do plan on talking about ADHD and ADD and friendships, because that is a different dynamic and a different kind of relationship. So we'll definitely tackle that in a future video. And like I said, thank you guys so much for watching these videos. It helps me a lot realize my shortcomings, and hopefully it gives y'all some insight on how our mind works and ways to kind of, help us through when we're having like emotional outbursts and issues and stuff. So yes, I love you guys so much, and I will see you in my next video. Have a wonderful day. Mwah.